Yes, yes, there are many, many stories about this special holiday named Christmas. If you look in this book alone, you will find lots of them. Oh, yes, here we are. This is today's story. It's a delightful Christmas story. Everything happened somewhere far, far in the north in a small little town. Our story takes place in an orphanage with some children and a pine tree. The orphaned children lived under the control of the evil rules of a lady named Mrs. Mavilda. The little ones were always forced to do heavy work by the wicked woman. The children never had toys, new clothes, or anything. But they had a friend. The pine tree they named Mrs. Hopewell. Yes, Hopewell, because the kids believed that the tree was magical. It somehow was going to bring them a mom and a dad to adopt and take them away from the unbearable Mrs. Mavilda. Mrs. Mavilda was a very tricky person. She didn't really take good care of the children, but she made people think she did. For example, she had a pretty dress with bows and lace and a new pair of pants and a sweater to put on whichever child she was going to show off to the mayor. This way, every time the mayor came by, he always thought that Mrs. Mavilda was taking good care of her children. But after he left a donation collected by the townspeople for the orphanage, Mrs. Mavilda would immediately take off the child's clothes and put them away in a closet for the mayor's next visit. Poor children. Once more the victims of her numerous selfish tricks. She used all that donated money in an irresponsible way. She would have her nasty friends over and gamble all night long, while laughing and drinking and playing cards. There goes the children's bread for the week, so said Mrs. Mavilda, laughing with her friends every time she played a hand. Many times the children went to bed without food for one reason or another. For example, if she caught them sneaking in the street dog, whom the children named Licorice. Poor Licorice. He was a fine dog, but he was as abandoned as the children were. Well, let's begin our story now. Everything starts when a couple arrives in town seeking a better life. The people in town recommended they go to the city mayor for help. The mayor told the good man that he would offer him a job at the lumber mill, but for a period of time, he would have to live in the boarding house without his family. The mayor also said that he would arrange for the man's wife and children to stay at the orphanage, where they could get room and board. She could become Mrs. Mavilda's assistant.
Oh, you.
We come from the mayor's.
I know. The mayor just called.
I'd better go now. Take good care of yourself and the children, Judy. I will be back before Christmas.
Don't worry, Ray. We're going to do just fine. You take care of yourself, too.
Goodbye, children. Be good.
Can we go now? Here is your room. This is the only thing I can do for you.
This is just fine, ma'am. I can put that old mattress on the floor for the children, and we will be just fine.
Hold it! Don't think your children are going to have special treatment here. They're going to stay with the other children and under the same rules and regulations.
I'm sorry.
Come, children. Follow me. Another thing. You have to get up at 7, prepare breakfast, feed the children at 8, then clean and wash. Don't forget dinner at 6 so the children will be in bed by 7:30. I don't want to see any children out of their beds. I repeat, no children walking around after 7:30. And you can spend some time with your children after you finish all your chores. But only half an hour and no more. The other children have to sleep, you
Don't
know.
worry about a thing, ma'am. I will do everything you say.
This is going to be your bedroom. I want you to make sure you have your feet clean so you won't dirty the sheets. No clothes on the floor. No fights of any kind. I don't want to hear anybody crying around here. And most of all, no pillow fights. You understand? Because if you think that you're not going to be punished because you have your mother here, you're going to be mighty disappointed. You get the same treatment as them. Remember that. More children. That's just what I needed.
Want to hold my teddy bear? No, Lily. My teddy bear has only one arm, but my mom says Santa will bring a new one for him at Christmas. It's my turn. Let me hold it now.
Oh, there you are.
Mommy, come here and see Mrs. Hopewell.